Hi, this is Zoe Harcombe and I'm doing a video for all club members about a topic that we've seen quite a bit in chat rooms recently, and that is on plateaus. I'd like to dedicate this video to Melissa, one of our super members who calls herself the Queen of the Plateaus, but it's an absolute credit to Melissa that when she hasn't had the rewards for all the hard work that she's put in, she's just kept going, and she's now our biggest loser in the club and well on the way to her target weight. So well done, Melissa. Right, 3 things that I'd like to share with you on plateaus. And the first one is one that we're hoping a major story is going to break on this weekend, and that is there is no formula when it comes to weight loss. Now, I grew up, as you probably did, believing that 1 pound equals 3,500 calories, and that to lose 1 pound of fat, you need to create a deficit of 3,500 calories. This is the story that's going to break in the book that I'm doing this year. And there just is no foundation for this formula without going into the enormous research that I've done and the things that I've found on this. There absolutely is no formula. As you know from your own experience, you do not lose 2 pounds a week if you starve yourself on 1,000 calories a day. Quite simply, which is where I started looking into this formula, if this formula worked, I'd be dead because I was anorexic as a teenager. I created way more than enough 3,500 calorie deficits to lose my entire body weight several times over, and I'm still here and alive. According to this mad formula, I'm 110 pounds. I eat about, 2,500 calories a day. If I cut back by 1,000 calories a day, no matter what I eat now, allegedly I should be 8 pounds by the end of this year. Now come on guys, this formula is mad. We know it's mad, but we still have in the back of our mind this horrible promise that is just deluding us that we will lose 2 pounds a week every week at least, so long as we put in enough effort and have enough pain. And it just will not happen. So the first thing I have to say is, please guys, there is no formula. The second thing, and I quite genuinely say this because all I want to do is to help other people be the way that they want to be, that is healthy. I genuinely will look and say, what are the options? If people are plateauing, what are the options? What can they then do? The only conclusion that I can come up with is you've got to stick with this, because the only other option is to go back to the 99% of diets that are about eating less and doing more. And any minute that you think eating less, doing more can work, first of all ask yourself why it hasn't worked for the last however many years you've been dieting. And then please go and read this blog that I just recommend so often, the Minnesota Experiment blog. If you think you can be different, your body is going to behave differently to everybody studied over the last 100 years of obesity journals, then go back to eating less, doing more, calorie counting, Weight Watchers, whatever. But you know what will happen having read the Harcombe diet. You'll get hungry, you'll slow your metabolism, you'll use lean muscle, you'll store fat, you'll get the 3 conditions, you'll eat more carbs, you'll do all of those things that we've discovered are going to sabotage your weight loss. So assuming you're not going to try and go the eat less, do more route, because it just doesn't work, then your options are a variant of something that isn't about eating less. The Harcombe diet is one variant. People do dip in and out of phase 1, reboosting the weight loss. At the most extreme, the last resort, which I would recommend for people quite genuinely, would be the Atkins phase 1, but without the processed foods that are part of the Atkins empire, so those low-carb bars that are full of horrific ingredients. But basically what you'd be doing is phase 1, but without even the natural live yogurt and the brown rice, and limiting your veg and salad intake to no more than 20 grams of carbohydrate per day. That is pretty much your last resort, because the eat less, do more just does not work. So when you weigh that up, it is cruel, and it's particularly cruel if you've got this promise in the back of your head of the 2 pounds. You have to get that out, because there is just no such formula. If you then stick with it, as Melissa did, and keep chipping away, knowing that pounds lost on the Harcombe diet don't go back on because you haven't slowed your metabolism or done the damage of everything else. So the third little thing that I'd like to share with you, in all the time that I've been working with clients doing this research, if you remember a little fable when you were at school, I think it was the Aesop's fable, and there's a guy walking down the street with an overcoat on, And the sun and the wind have a bit of a debate and a challenge, and they say, let's see who can get the guy to take his coat off. And of course the wind huffs and puffs, and the guy just wraps it around himself even tighter. And the sun comes out and the guy takes his coat off because he doesn't want to be carrying the coat anymore. Remember that analogy, because I think it has so much to tell us about weight loss. I think if we fight the body, like the wind trying to get the guy to take the coat off, the body will store fat, it will hang on to everything it can, it will use up lean tissue first, it will fight us back, it won't work with us. But if we eat real food and feel healthy as we're doing it, and take our time and eat 3 big meals a day, and don't graze and don't eat processed junk, it will be like the sun on that overcoat, and the body will recognise that we are working with it, we are doing great things, we are nourishing it, and it can just take the coat off. And I actually think weight loss, I've come to realise, is as much, if not more, about encouraging the body to stop storing fat as it is about trying to force the body to burn fat. You think you can go to the gym and get it to burn 200 calories, it just isn't going to happen. It will fight you all the way. Work with it, tell it you're going to get regular fuel, you don't need to store anymore, you can let that fat go, and I see it happen, and it will let it go. But it will then, quite interestingly, be quite sporadic, because it's almost like you get to a bunch of fat cells and the body says, that's the next bit to go. I don't need that spare tyre anymore, I don't need anything on my thighs. And you will find you plateau, lose 3 pounds, plateau, lose 5 pounds, plateau, lose 2, plateau, lose 1. It will be very hiccupy and very stop and start. But there really is no alternative to eating in the way that nature intends us to eat. So I hope this helps. I really do hope it helps. Goodness knows I would love you to lose 4 or 5 pounds every week and be your dream weight as quick as you possibly can. But I have to be honest with you, it didn't come on quickly. It's going to go off at the rate that the body's prepared to let it go. So keep going, be inspired by Melissa, you will get there and get all the support you need from the club. Thanks for listening.